Regret is a universal human experience. It can weigh us down, consume our thoughts, and prevent us from moving forward in life. But what if there was a way to break free from its grip? The ancient Stoics, masters of resilience and wisdom, believed regret was an emotion we could conquer. In this video, we'll explore 3 powerful Stoic strategies to deal with regret and live a life of freedom and inner peace. Let's dive into the philosophy that has stood the test of time. What is regret? Regret is the emotional pain we feel when reflecting on past decisions or actions, often wishing we had done things differently. The Stoics viewed regret as an unproductive emotion, a fixation on events we can no longer control. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "External things are not the problem. It is your assessment of them, which you can erase right now." Regret arises when we resist reality and dwell on what could have been. Seneca added that, "We often suffer more in imagination than in reality," emphasizing that regret is a product of our perception rather than the actual event. For example, imagine losing your temper with someone you care about, perhaps over something trivial like unwashed dishes. Later, you reflect on your behavior and feel regret for how you acted. The Stoics would argue that the regret isn't about the dishes or even the person, it's about your expectations and your inability to accept what happened. Why do we feel regret? Regret stems from our tendency to dwell on the past and resist our fate. According to Seneca, life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. When we focus too much on what-ifs or should-haves, we lose sight of what truly matters, the present moment and our ability to grow from our experiences. Psychologists today echo this sentiment, describing regret as a negative but indispensable emotion. It can serve as a tool for reflection and self-improvement when approached constructive. However, if left unchecked, regret can spiral into despair, preventing us from moving forward. The key question isn't, why do I feel regret, but rather, how do I deal with it? The Stoics offer 3 transformative strategies, focusing on what you control, loving your fate, Amor Fati, and preparing for challenges, Premeditatio Malorum. 1. Focus on what you control. Epictetus famously said, "Every event has 2 handles, one by which it can be carried, and one by which it cannot." This principle teaches us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. Regret often arises because we fixate on things outside our control, past events that cannot be changed. For instance, if you regret saying something hurtful during an argument, you cannot undo those words. However, you can control how you respond moving forward, whether by apologizing or learning to manage your emotions better in similar situations. Marcus Aurelius reinforced this idea. Remind yourself that past and future have no power over you, only the present, and even that can be minimized. The past is unchangeable, lingering on it only prolongs suffering. Instead, focus on actions within your control today. Reflect on a recent regret and ask yourself, what part of this situation is within my control? Shift your energy toward constructive actions rather than dwelling on unchangeable events. As Holocaust survivor Dr. Edith Eger said, "If I knew then what I know now, I would have done things differently." Accepting this truth allows us to release guilt and move forward. 2. Love your fate, Amor Fati. The Stoics believed in embracing life as it is, both its joys and its hardships. Marcus Aurelius described this beautifully. "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything thrown into it." This mindset, known as Amor Fati, encourages us to accept everything that happens as necessary for our growth. Rather than resisting or regretting past events, we can learn to see them as opportunities for transformation. For example, a failed relationship might teach us valuable lessons about communication or self-worth. By loving our fate, even the difficult parts, we cultivate resilience and inner peace. Epictetus demonstrated this principle through his calm acceptance of adversity. "I must die, but must I die bawling? I must be put in chains, but moaning and groaning too. I must be exiled, but is there anything to keep me from going with a smile?" When reflecting on a regretful event, ask yourself, what did this teach me? How did it shape my character? Practice gratitude for life's challenges. They are opportunities to grow stronger. By embracing Amor Fati, we reduce the likelihood of future regrets because we approach life with acceptance rather than resistance. 3. Prepare for challenges. Premeditatio Malorum. Seneca advised, rehearse them in your mind: exile, torture, war, shipwreck. All the terms of our human lot should be before our eyes. This practice of visualizing potential hardships, known as Premeditatio Malorum, helps us stay calm and prepared when adversity strikes. Regret often stems from being caught off guard by unexpected outcomes. By mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios, we can reduce their emotional impact and respond more effectively when they occur. For example, before giving a speech, imagine everything that could go wrong: the microphone failing, forgetting your lines, or losing audience interest. By preparing for these possibilities in advance, you'll feel more confident and less likely to regret any mishaps afterward. Before facing an important decision or event, list possible challenges or failures you might encounter. Visualize how you would handle each scenario calmly and constructively. This proactive approach reduces fear of failure and helps us make decisions without hesitation, minimizing future regrets. Regret is a powerful emotion, but it doesn't have to control us. By focusing on what we can control, embracing life's challenges through Amor Fati, and preparing for adversity with Premeditatio Malorum, we can transform regret into growth and resilience. The Stoics remind us that life's hardships are inevitable, but how we respond is entirely up to us. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. If you found these Stoic strategies helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights into ancient wisdom applied to modern life. Let's build resilience together.